Have you ever planned every hour, blocked every minute, squeezed every task into the day, and still ended up thinking, what did I actually do today? Or, I wish there were more than 24 hours in a day. There was always something, a last minute task, a fire to put out, someone needing urgent input, and it always started like, hey, I'm sorry to call you at this time, but it's just going to take 5 minutes. But what if I told you the real challenge isn't managing time? It's managing yourself, your choices, your pace, your ability to say no without guilt. That realization changed everything for me, and it's what we're unpacking in today's episode. Welcome to the Barakah Balance podcast with Ira, where we explore productivity based on the principles of Barakah that honor both presence and purpose. I am Hooriya, and today's episode is about a small but powerful shift, realizing that time isn't something you control. It's something that you're entrusted with. In Islam, we call it an Amanah, a trust. And when you start treating your time that way, how you work, how you plan, even how you rest begins to change. Let me take you back to when I used to think good time management meant getting more done in less time. Like any other hustler, I stacked my days back to back. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., pray, pack, and rush out to the door. Gym bag in one hand, a half-sipped meal plan bag in the other. By 8:30ish, I'd be at the office, already feeling behind. I'd sip coffee while scrolling through an inbox filled with requests. Some meant for me, others just CC'd, all needing attention. No breakfast, no breath, just straight into chaos. Lunch, usually forgotten. Or cold, half-eaten while replying to messages. And some days I remember my colleagues would actually walk in and remind me, Hooriya, did you eat something? Did you have lunch? And I wouldn't have, just because I wouldn't even notice I hadn't. My hours were blurred into each other. I'd go from reviewing emails to resolving HR issues, then shift into production work. And then somewhere in between, I'd end up at a conference, smile, network, take notes, and still spend hours on calls with prospects, pitching or negotiating. And then, without a pause, I'd jump into a budget call. No buffer, no mental transition. And as a lawyer, I was still expected to clock my daily target hours. But when you're doing everything, prospecting, HR, production, regulatory issues, dealing with the regulator, hitting those targets became just another mountain to climb. By 8 p.m., I'd hope to wrap up, but there was always something, a last-minute task, a fire to put out, someone needing urgent input, and it always started like, hey, I'm sorry to call you at this time, but it's just going to take 5 minutes. And by the time I walked out, I was almost the last person in the parking lot. Stepping into the night, trying to smile, trying to leave off the stress behind, trying to switch off before I would enter home. But I never really did. At home as well, it was eat, pray, still be glued to my phone and reply to emails or text messages. Still on, scrolling, thinking about tomorrow. And surprisingly, I told myself that this was disciplined. This was ambition. This was success. Eventually, I started getting unwell very often. And the kind of unwell that wouldn't always show up in blood tests. It was there in the constant fatigue that I couldn't shake, the headaches, the gut issues and unexplained intolerances, the skin flare-ups, and the sleep that never actually felt restful. And my body was actually speaking to me and telling me something that I already knew, that this isn't sustainable. But I kept going. Deadlines, expectations, pressure I just didn't know how to put down. And I was so used to functioning in overdrive that I didn't even notice that I was burning out. until one day I did. I broke down, quietly. Not in front of anyone, but inside. I knew something had to change. And around that same time, I came across a hadith that made me stop in my tracks. There are two blessings that many people are deceived by: health and free time. I heard it so many times, but in that moment, it felt personal, like it was directly speaking to me. And by the way, modern psychology confirms what Islamic tradition taught centuries ago. When we treat time not as something to control, but as something we're entrusted with, we show up with more clarity, less stress, and deeper focus. Time, like health, is a gift. And the way we use it shapes not just our productivity, but also our spiritual well being. So, really, you don't manage time, you manage your energy, your focus, your presence within the time that's been given to you. And remember, time is an amanah, a trust. It needs to be carried with care. And when you start seeing it like that, productivity stops being about how much you can fit in, and it starts becoming about actually what's worth your attention. And this is exactly what we do at IRA. How we work at IRA is, number one, we don't ask you to fit salah around your day. We help you to build your day around salah. So when prayer becomes the anchor, everything else flows more with barakah. And there's science that backs it up. Spiritual routines like prayer have been shown to boost focus, lower your stress, and increase life satisfaction. Number two, short intentional breaks, especially involving zikr or reflection, improve mental clarity and cognitive stamina. So at IRA, we start with energy, not time. You'll track your focus patterns based on your energy, your peak hours, your dips, the time when you crash, what drains you, what fuels you. So we map your schedule around your natural rhythm. Some people peak early, others thrive late. So we help you work around with your design and not against it. And for women especially, we go deeper. Your menstrual cycle is a productivity cycle. You're often the sharpest during your follicular phase and your ovulation phases. And you need more rest, reflection, and margin in the luteal and menstrual phases. We also make sure that we replace to-do lists with intention lists. Before you ask, what's this really for? We help you filter your day through values and purpose, not urgency. So this is what Barakah-based planning actually looks like. It's not about squeezing more in. It's just about protecting what matters. At IRA, we meet you exactly where you are and help you build a lifestyle that reflects that. One that grows you into the best version of yourself, physically, spiritually, and socially. One tiny step at a time. So, 3 tips from our end. Number 1, let Salah set time. Schedule your day around your prayers. Number 2, work with your window. You know when you're sharp, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Use that time or that window for your most meaningful work. Number 3, remember, rest is not a weakness. It is not a weakness. So build rest days in your day, not as a reward, but as a rhythm. Protect low energy hours or windows for recovery, reflection, or stillness. So if you're ready to rebuild your rhythm around trust and barakah, visit us at irabliss.com and subscribe to our free weekly newsletters. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Barakah Balance podcast. Until we meet next time, reflect, reset, and rise with barakah.